tired. I went down. We're going to show you video of this tomorrow. We don't have time today. I went down to investigate the border and what was happening there with the cartels and things, and spent a few days with my family with me there at a hotel in South Padre. And the red tide hit a couple days into it, and they thought, oh, it's no problem. The hotel told me, don't worry about it. But I noticed all the fish dying, and I couldn't breathe. I didn't know it was a neurotoxin, and some of my kids got sick. So on our way back, I'm not feeling too good. My kids are sick in the back. I just want to get home. And 98 miles into the U.S. I never left the U.S. I pull up at the same Border Patrol checkpoint I was at 3 weeks ago. I wanted to go back down there and cover what was happening at the border. And I pull up, and the guy says, I'm going to direct you over here. I'm going to search your vehicle. They got drug dogs. He goes, I'm going to check your immigration status with the drug dog. And I go over and I say, I know about the Border Patrol dealing drugs. You can pull it up. Just type Border Patrol caught bringing drugs in. Fast and Furious, Sinaloa cartel, 8 agencies involved in Homeland Security in allowing certain cartels to bring drugs in. They're told, let certain 18-wheelers through. And I'm not saying the individual who came to the RV was a drug dealer. No, I'm saying that this is an agency caught doing it over and over again. So they are the ones who should have people searching them, not me and my family with all their license plate reading cameras that are 200 yards before you get there. They're already running your plates. You pull in there and you're guilty, you're bad. They're the official, they're the authority, like Nazi Germany. You're going to be checked. And I told him, and I meant it, I'm going to file suit on the next cop, the next checkpoint, the next garbage. The next TSA that tries to grab my genitals, I'm suing your butt. And you may beat the rap, but you're not beating the ride. It's time to recognize this stuff is going nationwide. This is a takedown. They're training you to literally be in a database when you go to a checkpoint they set up. They set up years ago the plan to have internal checkpoints at state borders, random checkpoints, highway checkpoints, and now they're doing it. This isn't just 98 miles in. This is in Tennessee with the feds out of their jurisdiction. This is so nightmarish. Now, this is unedited video, except for the names of my children and things like that, and video of my children who were involved, who've been cut out of the video. But here it is. Nazi Germany comes to America. And you're like, but they're just checking you. Why don't I check them? I mean, I got an article. In fact, let's show the other article before we go to this. Look at that, CNS News. Napolitano, DHS, authorizing illegal aliens to work in the U.S. You can see the clip right there. It's come out in Associated Press that illegal aliens built the border fence. Illegal aliens are openly allowed to come into the U.S., and I'm not against, by the way, the folks from Mexico coming in here and wanting a job because the globalists are employing their country. The point is, they're brought in to drive down wages. They're brought in by the big corporations to bust the unions and all the systems. But then the unions are bought off, so they promote open borders. Instead of folks staying in Mexico and causing an actual downfall of that corrupt system, the globalists use it as a steam valve to then bring down the U.S. See, it's all divide and conquer. It's very sophisticated geometry. That's why the average person who hasn't thought about it doesn't understand it. But again, I'm digressing. The point is, illegals, they've frozen all deportations of people from Mexico because it's political. Everybody else from Honduras, Nicaragua, China, you're gone. They had camps, by the way, down on the border filled. They had 5,000 with Salvadorans, El Salvadorans, just at that particular Bayview detention center. And I did an investigation of that while I was there on the radio that a lot of you watched. The point is, this is all going on. And so it's so asinine. Now watch the video. This is important because I know the Supreme Court's rule that 100 miles in, that's about a third of the country, all the way around the nation. You can pull up the maps of this. In fact, pull up a Constitution-free zone for folks. Just type that in and you'll get the official maps. They are searching people, and I've talked to a lot of folks here in my office. In fact, a couple of the guys that work in the shipping and advertising department who happen to be Hispanic, and he says when you go through these things, they do a I guess stereotypical typecasting or whatever. They just wave you through because they don't want illegals. They don't want that. They're there to search vehicles. They're there to break the will of the American people. They're there to set the precedent. 100 miles into the country, around a third of our geographical mass, you were searched. This is absolute bull. Now, here's the key to all of this, because I know I'm ranting on and on before I get to the video. I tell them, I know the Supreme Court's ruled you can do this. Supreme Court also ruled black people weren't humans. So I don't, if they rule I can't own private property tomorrow, or I can't own guns, or that I got to turn my kids over to the state, I'm not following it. But they say the Supreme Court's ruled we can verify citizenship. Yeah, they do these internal citizen checkpoints instead of at the border, where they wave everybody through. And then he says, I say, you're looking for drugs, I'm going to sue you. You want to violate my Fourth Amendment? He says, no, we're not. We're looking for narcotics. So he plays some little mind game with me. And they first swaggered over like a gang. And, you know, again, I had my camera on in my lap. I wasn't going to hold it up like last time when they said, turn your camera off, and I didn't. I said, Richard, you watch. He's like, this will be a piece of cake. And I said, no, it won't. Okay? They're going to want to pull us over. Richard went down there with me to help produce the show and drive in the RV. And I kept the camera in my lap rolling, and when I got up and got in his face, I mean, this is the death of everything. And folks, a lot of you are saying, hey, we like the Border Patrol. They're protecting us. Baloney. This has nothing to do with our sovereignty. This is about the Fourth Amendment being killed. And again, I just showed you clips of Tennessee and other states where they're running checkpoints on the citizens with Homeland Security. This is about a total takeover and domestic checkpoints to travel in this country where you then just disappear. The government's already said they'll kill citizens without warrants. The government's already said they'll round people up. This is about total tyranny by the banksters imploding this country. So I'm not the enemy of these Border Patrol agents, but I've studied the facts and I know what's happening. Let's go ahead and go to the report. I'm Alex Jones. We already shot a YouTube video. This isn't Fast and Furious. I don't deal narcotics like the Border Patrol and Obama and the ATF and all you guys. I just took my family to the beach again.
Okay.
All right, again, we exposed the unconstitutional internal checkpoints here. And here I was, wanting to go down and check out the border, go down and interview some people. I shot that from my hotel balcony before the red tide hit and made us all basically sick. The air was just full of that neurotoxin being released by the algae. It's being fed by all the fertilizer, artificial fertilizer pouring out through the rivers into the Gulf. And I pulled up to it and I knew what was coming. But I decided not to be provocative. It's just amazing. Look, they just open everybody's cars up. Right. These guys know I already made them a big star earlier. This is hilarious. Again, right here, I'm not filming the drug dog, people opening their cars and it going in their cars. Because last time I did film that and they said, turn your camera off, and I refused. I said, I'm just going to sit here and hold it in my lap just to prove to Richard, who was thinking, oh, no, let's just be nice and see what they do. It was a test. I sat there and was talking with the camera in my lap aimed at Richard down where they couldn't see it, and I was watching them search the people's cars. I was watching them pull them over and put the dog in their car. Again, each American having their rights violated. How about we just show up and demand to search the Border Patrol agent? They'd flip out on you. Or you pull up to a cop and say, we know cops are corrupt a lot of times. I want to search you. I'm TSA. I want to grab your genitals. That cop would shoot you in the chest. And he'd have a right to. You're trying to violate his person. You're trying to assault him. But see, we're just scum citizens. They're keeping us safe. Bull. Bull. You work for a narcotics trafficking, murdering, criminal banking cartel that sees this country. And it's time to choose sides and face the facts. It's all come out in federal court. The government ships the guns worldwide and brings the drugs in. And then they got the nerve to want to search my family. And it's immigration check 98 miles into the country while they got a drug dog. We're not looking for drugs, we're looking for narcotics. Back to the video. These guys looking for their long-lost buddies. They probably recognize us as that.
License, sir?
All U.S. citizens.
How many in the vehicle total?
6.
6. Alright, I'm gonna have to have someone step in.
That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Side door open?
Hey, we're not shipping any drugs like you guys do.
No.
I'm Alex Jones. We already shot a YouTube video. This isn't Fast and Furious. I don't deal narcotics like the Border Patrol and Obama and the ATF and all you guys. I just took my family to the beach again.
Okay, that's fantastic. I still need to verify everyone's citizenship.
Well, that's fine. We'll get out of the car, but I'm not going to have you guys violate my Fourth Amendment.
Nobody's going to violate your rights.
Yeah, you just want to run that dog in here. I'm going to sue you for it. You go ahead and do what you're going to do. I'm going to need your name. I'm going to need everything. I'm going to file suit.
Hold on. Citizenship needs to be verified.
Yeah.
I need you guys to do so I have no reason to check.
Yeah, no, you want to run that dog in here.
It's going to hold traffic. Please pull over to the right, all right?
That's what you want.
Okay.
Just ahead of the sedan that's standing over there.
Okay.
Look at all this. You pay for this while the border is wide open and we're 98 miles inside the U.S. They want to make us sit here. But I put him on notice too. I told you, Richard. Here they come.
Boss, how many people you got on board?
6 American citizens.
Okay. You, sir? American citizen?
Yes, sir.
You, sir?
Yep.
You, ma'am?
Yes, I
Okay, can you
am.
get the other 3 for me?
Just bring the kids up here. My whole issue is border checkpoints. One thing at the border, these things are unconstitutional, and I've.
Well, that is constitution by the Supreme Court, so we need
Yeah.
immigration here.
But you got drug dogs. You're looking for drugs, is what you're
No,
doing.
we're not looking for drugs.
Really, what's the drug dog looking for?
It's human odor and narcotics.
What's the drug dog looking for?
It's human odor and narcotics.
Drugs.
Primary mission immigration.
Yeah. Well, I don't use the government's products. I'm the guy.
Are these your kids?
Yes, they're mine.
Step out right, just get a visual.
Yeah, come on, guys.
I need to get a visual of my children.
No,
As I
whatever.
travel across America with my children.
It's just whatever.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Come on. They got to look at you.
They're terrified of you. They're terrified of you. This is what you're doing to our country.
come here, sweetie.
You make it so that our kids are scared to go across the country and go on a little vacation.
You guys are free to leave.
Well, thank you
Thanks
for
a
now.
lot. We are free. We are free. We're born free and we remain free regardless of what you're doing to our constitutional rights.
You automatic or manual?
This is not constitutional
Do what?
and this is not right.
It'll close. Thank you.
Well, they sure backed off.
It's going to be at all the malls, every sports stadium, high school basketball, junior high. Everything's a prison. You show a card to get your kids. It has nothing to do with security. The federal government is run by foreign banks that are engineering a depression. It's all public. God, I've been to urban warfare drills 13 years ago. I've been all over the country. And I've witnessed the troops training to take you out of your house and take your guns and admitting it's for America. And then I'd turn the news on and they'd say it was for Bosnia. I've talked to the military people. I'm getting chills right now. I've talked to the former judge advocate generals. They know what's going on. This is the takedown of America. How do you think a foreign corporate takeover would happen? They would stage terror. They would ship in drugs. Do you know how the British brought down China? China made drugs illegal. The British use it to corrupt the police, create organized crime, take over. Mexico's being destroyed right now, so it can be slurped up by the New World Order. And so the refugees of collapsing Mexico can be used to then bring down the U.S. So everybody's screwed. The globalists are masters at playing groups off against each other. I am not the enemy of these Border Patrol agents. I know they've got a tough job, and I don't want it, especially the ones that are actually on the border. But this garbage of these proliferating checkpoints, a lot of these have been here for decades, but now they're spreading all over the country. And I remember being in California when I was a kid driving through a checkpoint 20 miles from the border, and they're like, do you have any fruit from Mexico because it might have some fruit fly or something? No, we don't. But again, it just grows and grows and grows. And then he's telling me, I don't want them looking for drugs, I'm looking for narcotics. They want my kids to be taught that they pull up at checkpoints and dogs come on. Land of the free, home of the brave. And I told you they'd have TSA all over the country. I just showed you that earlier. You know what? I got to finish this newscast.